Hey everyone, welcome to the Electric Supercar channel. Last week we put the roof on for the first time. This time we're gonna see if we can attach it and maybe even get some lines that kind of help make it look just a little better. I am interrupting this intro because that is not what we're doing this week. We're gonna pick up right where we left off. So last week we had wrapped some of these pillar covers. We're gonna go ahead and put those in. First, there are some wires, again, for the rear view camera up there that I need to, I just need to get those wires out of there, route them back down. Eventually they need to go in the back somewhere. So I gotta do that, put these covers on, and then look at those mounting points for those cups and receptacles. It's gonna get the top on. Have you ever seen somebody disassemble a car so quickly? So I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. I'm getting better at it, but top and stuff's here, seats out, doors off, that access panel's off, and that access panel's off. So you might think, what the heck are you doing? So let me kind of walk you through some of my thoughts. All right, so I needed to get the cables back down here. I could have done that without taking everything off, but I did want to take this access panel off. So that makes things a lot easier. In here, there's a couple things I want to do. One is I want to add a, what am I going to call this? A port, a connection that allows me to charge, kind of trickle charge the 12 volt battery. So if I just let it sit for an extended period of time, I worry that it'll just kill my 12 volt battery. So I want to add that. I also want to add I'll call it a switch or a connection that allows me to do my passive keyless entry. So again, if I'm out and about and I decide that I want to do that, I can kind of put in a connector or flip a switch and have that be active. Other things, my reverse button on there was a little sticky, so I wanted to get under there, fix that. And basically, in order to get under here, you need to take this access panel off. One of the other things I'll do while I'm kind of looking at wires and stuff, I will put in I've got a new cable for my horn, so I'll put that in as well. So you may ask why the door? Well, the door I need to take off to kind of finish up. Again, it's not super convenient to kind of finish it up while it's on the door or on the car. So finishing up kind of around there. The other thing I need to do or would like to do is I need to get this area all in order as well, which is very challenging to do while it's on the car. So it's always a little sad to me when you have something that's working and looking great and you kind of have to disassemble it all. But you got to do it, just to fix things or to add things or to change things. So all part of the process, but still it's just a little sad. One of the things I got a while ago, I think it was like 10 bucks, is a battery charger. This is 1,000 milliamps. It's really just meant to kind of keep your battery charged. So this is what we got. So this is kind of coming from the house. It's got this connector. So my thought is I think it's got two different styles of connectors. You can either use these kind of terminals, which I think I will use. It's also got these other ones. I'm gonna figure out where the best place to put these terminals on the car is and have this cable be accessible so I can kind of plug it in whenever I want to do it. So my thought is, again, have it come out somewhere over here, maybe in the glove box or anyway, somewhere over there. All right, so this one comes with an inline fuse, 7.5 amp. And on this end, it's actually got a nice cover. So again, you don't have to worry about like the leads or something kind of bouncing around or making contact with anything. So again, the thought is I'll hook this someplace so that it can charge the battery and then make this accessible somewhere. Okay, we're gonna try it out. Okay, so as I can best understand, so we've got power, it is charging, and this light will blink when the charge is complete. So maybe I'll leave it tonight and see if it works. But anyways, I got some cable here, so I think this will work. I think my plan right now is just to route this actually behind the seat, and that way I can kind of pull it out if I need to. On the gear selector, I actually have the ability to kind of adjust I'll call it the touch of the buttons. So just how they respond. So neutral, drive, everything works well. Reverse, see it sticks. So sometimes it sticks, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm just gonna take this one off, make that adjustment, make sure it doesn't stick. It always makes me nervous when I mess with things. So I'm gonna go ahead and try, make sure it turns on, make sure the controller turns on, make sure when I hit it in reverse, that it goes in reverse, that it doesn't stick, go through all the gears. Okay, so we turned on, that's good. So we'll try reverse. Good, didn't stick. Neutral. And drive. Just trying to make sure. Okay, I think we're good. One other thing I'm going to do while things are all apart. So the T2C is right under there. And for whatever reason, I think I must have wired something wrong because the regen, so on here, it'll actually, when I get off the gas and the regen starts, it definitely regens. And even the indicator on here says the brake light goes on, but the brake light does not go on. So I think what I maybe did is I put the wires from there to the brake switch instead of the brake light. Anyway, so I'll check that while everything's apart and make sure that's working too. All right, let's dig into the belly of the beast. Back there, we've got this T2C, and I disconnected the connector just to see if I've got the wires going the right place. And so what I learned, so if I put this guy right here, maybe, so we got continuity. So again, I think I've wired it correctly. I'm gonna go ahead and put 12 volts there and make sure when I do that I'd get brake lights. But what that means is I gotta maybe, well, we'll get there first. But if it doesn't work, and if I put 12 volts and it works, and it doesn't right now, maybe there's a setting that I have to do in the T2C to kind of make the brake lights go on when I am in the regen mode. Or, yeah, I don't know. We'll get there first. So let me get 12 volts there and make sure the brake lights work. All right, I've got this set up, so I've got the power supply, and if that pin gets a 12 volt signal, brake lights go on. So whatever it is, the 12 volt signal is not getting from the controller to that pin. Electrical troubleshooting, am I right? So it's nice to know that I got things wired correctly, but still never makes me feel good when it's not quite working. So I'll put an email into EV Controls to see if there's like a setting or something in their software that you can just turn it on or off. I think that might be what it is, but we'll see. One other thing I was thinking about during the demolition here is the gas spring that holds the door open. Originally, I sourced that before I put that panel in with kind of the speaker and other things. And so when I put the speaker in, that original gas spring didn't go up all the way. The door didn't go up. So I got a new gas spring. Now it kind of goes up all the way, but now I'm thinking if I put like the window on, side window and other things, it's not gonna go up again. So I might need a third gas spring. I spent the last few minutes routing the cable, the rear camera cable. The main unit's there and it's just got a cable that goes around back. So I've got it going, I've got it kind of coming right here. So from here, I still need to figure out where I'd like to mount it. So I've got my rear camera, like it's a license plate holder camera right there. I don't know that I love that either. So again, I could kind of mount it down there. It could be back here somewhere, like here. Originally I thought under the wing. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments where you think I should put that rear facing camera. Yeah, that is just crispy. It doesn't smell very good either. Oh my gosh, look at that. It took way too long, but I've got this rewired so my horn is working. Okay, some of the other wiring things that I need to finish up. At one time the door locks were working, and now only lock works. So I can lock them, I can't unlock them. Now when I say that, when it's an open air roadster, it's got kind of a handle like right here, so on the other side, and then it's got this interior handle. And the way the door lock was made, even if it's locked, if you hit the interior handle, it will unlock. So in roadster mode, there's really no purpose, and besides that, you could just hop over the door if you wanted to. Where I'm looking at the roof now, I think that becomes a little more critical. So door locks, I need to figure that out. The regen light, I need to figure that out. And then the passive keyless entry. So those are kind of some wiring things that I'm gonna do while this is open. But I kind of just don't feel like wiring right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on some of the body work right here. Again, when the seat was here, it's kind of hard to get at, so I need to kind of put some short strand fiberglass filler here, kind of blend it. And this is pretty rough, that's rough. So those are kind of some things I'm gonna work on next. Quick overview of what we just did. I kind of roughed up the places where I was going to put the short strand fiberglass filler. I routed out, there were some cracks. I never really kind of finished this from when I started it, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago. So it was kind of loose, and so it was cracked. So I routed those out because we like to make things look ugly before they look pretty. So pack that all back in with short strand fiberglass filler, and we'll let this set up. All right, so the biggest thing I was trying to do is get this flat. So I think I did that. Some of these other contours are kind of harder to apply, but we'll see once this sets up if we can make everything look somewhat decent. For these holes that we've already kind of cut out, once this kind of gets a little more tacky, I'll just take a blade, and that usually gets, it's kind of the right time to do it, because after it's hardened, it's kind of harder to sand and make look good. While it's still a little soft, that's when you want to get at it. So I thought I'd show you what I was talking about. It's right here, it's starting to kind of harden up. And so you can kind of cut it at this stage and it comes out pretty nice. Boom, just like that. So the weather's a little snowy, I'm trying to shovel. Got the luxury of a snowblower. I know that's a luxury, but guess what I'm doing? Shoveling. It seems like every year, no matter if I put like fuel stabilizer, last winter I ran it empty so there's no fuel in it. Every year it seems like I gotta clean out the carburetor. Well, it looks like I won't be driving anytime soon. All right, I know you're saying, aren't you supposed to be working on the car? I'm gonna spend like 5 minutes and clean this real quick, see if we can get it running. This is my Troy built Storm sucky carburetor. So basically, in order to get to your carburetor, this guy, you kind of have to like twist it and then pull it out. There's 4, I think 10 millimeter bolts, and then this one right here's got to be in a certain position. I don't know if you can see that, but there's kind of like a notch so that can come out. All right, came apart. Basically, like I mentioned, 4 kind of 10 millimeter socket bolts. This one comes off. This is your fuel. So when you take that off, it's got a little retaining clamp. Take it off, put it up above the fuel line. So we're good. Other than that, this guy you can kind of just put to the side. Two 10mm bolts here, and then the whole carburetor unit comes off. Again, it's always surprising me how much gas is in this, but just take off this little bell housing here. And then there is this guy that holds a little jet. So I've got the soaking in carb cleaner, and yeah, all the holes were plugged. So kind of just get a little wire, make sure they're all clean, blow it out, reassemble, should be good to go. It's probably, I don't know, I kind of get mad at it, but it's probably only a half-hour fix. So all back together and working. All you need is 10mm socket, flathead, and a Phillips, some carb cleaner, pair of pliers, 15 minutes. But what a pain every year. I'm happy to make a whole video about things like this as I come across them if you guys think that's interesting. In general, I tend to stick to the car stuff. All right, so I've been kind of stalling on the electrical. I just kind of lack the motivation to get back into it. Just it's not too challenging, but you know, every once in a while you just kind of you just put it off. You just don't want to do it. So here's what we're going to do. To kind of get some motivation, we're going to take a look back, and we may do this from time to time. Take a look back at where we've been, because I know sometimes like Google will say, hey, 2 years ago, or Facebook will say, hey, 3 years ago, here's your memory. So I have no idea what this video is going to be, but I'm going to show you where we were 2 years ago. I put things in trimesters. I feel like we're in the first trimester. When we get the motor mounted, I feel like that's graduating into the second trimester. So again, I've got that one's kind of all ready to go. And then the top here is like so. And I just need to lift up this whole arm here to kind of, you can see I kind of marked the position. But that's kind of where it will be welded, and yeah, that'll be a good milestone. All right, there's a quick peek at the front. This is the front weld. That poor man, he does not know what's coming. If you could go back 2 years and tell him one thing, what would it be? Put it in the comments below. Okay, everybody, we tore a lot of things apart. We got some things fixed, got a lot more to go. That'll do it for this week. See you next week.